The Gemini File Search API is nothing more than a built-in retrieval augmented generation inside the API. In this video, I'll show you how to get started with the Gemini File Search API in Python. At the time of making this video, the API supports these two models, Gemini 2.5 Pro and Gemini 2.5 Flash. Using the File Search API, you can upload a wide range of application file types as well as text file types to the system and query from them. So you can use any of these text file types as well as these application file types. So this is how it works. Once you upload a file to the system, the document will be in a file storage and the system uses an embedding model to convert the file into numerical representations and then store the numerical data in a database. So once a user sends a query to the system, the prompt is also converted to embeddings and map the embeddings for the query with the embeddings in the database and uses Gemini to provide the final answer to the user. To get started with the Gemini File Search API in Python, you should first initialize a new Python project with UV in it. Then you should create a virtual environment with UV and activate it with this command. Next, it requires your Gemini API key, so you should grab one from Google AI Studio and install python.env to load the API key in your Python script. Lastly, you should install the Google Gen AI package with this command. So I have already created a new Python project with UV. Over here, you can see I have the .env file. Inside the .env file, I have stored the Google Gemini API key and added this Python script. So over here, what you need to do is to add the following imports. We have the python.env to load the API key from the .env file. Next, you create a new Google Gen AI client with the API key and also create a new file search client with an optional display name. Over here, I want to create a vector store, yoga instructor store. Next, you should upload the document you want to search from and import it into the file store. So if I go back to the Files and Folders Explorer, you have noticed here, I have the file yogainstructor.pdf. So this is the PDF file we are uploading to the file store. It is just a tutorial on how to build a yoga AI instructor in Python. So with this document uploaded to the file store, we can query anything from this document. In this section, it shows you how to configure your API keys. So the following API keys are needed to run the sample demo for the Yoga AI instructor tutorial. So we load the document into a Python script by specifying the file name over here. As I showed you previously, there are so many file types to work with for both application file types and text file types. The next thing to do is to wait until the import is done and add this code snippet to query anything about the document you have uploaded. So if I bring the integrated terminal, you have noticed here I have run the Python script Gemini rag start.py, and here is the result I got from the model. If I go back to the Python script, you have noticed here we are asking about the API key required to build a Yoga AI instructor app in Python, and we want to use the model Gemini 2.5 Flash. You can also swap it with Gemini 2.5 Pro. So in the document I showed previously, these are all the API keys required. Comparing that with the answer generated by the model, you have noticed here it mentions all the API keys required. That is Gemini Realtime. The tutorial also mentions OpenAI Realtime API as an alternative. So this statement is also correct. Aside from the API keys mentioned here, the document also mentions about using API keys from Ultralytics for real-time yoga post detection. So with the Gemini File Search API, we have been able to retrieve accurate information from the document we uploaded.